Welcome to Advanced and Performance Driving. I'm Reg Local. Before I crack on with the video, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. You get an update every time a new video's uploaded. And also don't forget to have a look at the website, reglocal.com. Loads more information on there about advanced and performance driving. All the videos are on there, there's stuff about the books and loads of other stuff. So I've been asked by a local advanced motoring group to produce a demonstration drive video. The idea being that this is a video that will be shown to new associates when they first start a course of instruction in advanced driving. So if you're new to advanced driving, you're just starting a course with RoSPA or with the Institute of Advanced Motorists, or if you're an observer, you're looking to assist your students or assist your associate in learning the basics of advanced driving, then this is probably the right video for you. Before I get onto the video itself, if you'd like a higher quality copy of this demonstration drive video, I can make them available on a memory stick or on a disc. You just drop me an email via reglocal.com. I'll get back to you with all the details and we can get a copy, a high quality copy out to you that you can play on laptops or DVD players or whatever you want. Okay, so I'm getting in the car. The first thing I'll do is make sure that the doors are all secure. Then I'll make sure that the seat and the mirrors are correctly adjusted. In this case, I've driven the car here, but it's a case of making sure that the seat's properly adjusted, the centre mirror and the side mirrors are adjusted so that you've got a good view behind. The next thing is I'm going to put the car into neutral, so check the car's handbrake is on, clutch down into neutral and start the engine. And we'll make sure that the pedals and panels are correct. So we've got plenty of resistance in the brake pedal. Just going to switch the display off. And everything seems to be okay on the dashboard. Next thing is seatbelt on. And when it's safe, we're going to move off. So checking the mirrors and shoulders, mirrors and first gear, and move off when it's safe. Next thing that we need to do is a moving brake test. But just looking at the car park on this pub here, it's a cold morning. There's quite a lot of frost and ice about, so I'm just going to delay that until I get onto the main road. So looking to the right, I can see there's traffic coming, checking the mirrors, nothing behind, handbrake and neutral, whilst we wait for the traffic to clear. Looking right, but I'm also looking left before we move off, make sure there's nobody overtaking coming towards us from the left. We set off now, jump into second gear, up to about 15-20 miles an hour, checking the mirrors, stand by for a moving brake test, and I'm satisfied that the brakes are pulling evenly and it's safe to continue. So I'm going to turn left at the next junction. As I do so, I'm going to apply the system of car control. So I'm checking the mirrors, I'm going to give a signal early for the vehicle behind to let them know I'm turning. It's giving the information out. Positions towards the near side. On the speed phase now, once I've got the speed right, I'm off the brakes, into gear and turning in. Just checking into the junction, and the last phase is acceleration. We press the accelerator to leave the hazard behind. Quite bright sunlight in front, so I'll put the sun visor down. Looking ahead, I can see the road bending round to the left. So on the approach to that left-hander, I'm going to take a position that's towards the white centre line. That's going to give me an earlier view into the corner. It's going to extend the radius of the turn. It's going to improve vehicle balance as we approach the corner. There again, we've got another left-hander slow on the road. As we come into shadow, we've got to bear in mind that it's going to be colder. There may well be hazards of ice, frost on the road. There we've got a sign warning us of a right-hand bend, maximum speed 20 miles an hour. So I'm off the gas, using the hill and gravity to slow me down, taking a lower gear, and then gently accelerating into the corner, very gently, just to maintain vehicle balance as we go around. And as the corner opens up, we'll press the accelerator. Up in the distance I can see brake lights coming on. There's a crest in the road here with a slight zone of invisibility. There seems to be a junction up ahead with other vehicles emerging from it. Speed limit on this road is national speed limit, 60 miles an hour, so we're not going above that. Again, looking at the junction, there's more vehicles emerging. I'm going to turn left at that junction, so again we're going to apply the system of car control. Checking the mirrors, put a signal on if anybody appears who needs it. Now I'm on the position phase now and then the speed phase, so I'm reducing the speed of the vehicle on the brakes. Put a signal on now for the vehicle. Once I've got the speed correct, I'll come off the brakes and take the gear and turn into the junction before accelerating away, checking the mirrors and moving out for the parked vehicles. Gentle acceleration at first, the hill's helping us with that acceleration, and I'm keeping a good distance away from these parked vehicles just in case the door opens. Checking the mirrors and backing towards the centre of our lane now, too much. In the distance I can still see brake lights. There's a vehicle coming towards me that's turning to my left. Parked vehicles and a changing speed limit. So I'm checking the mirrors. Now I'm on the brakes, bringing the speed down to 30 just as we get to the sign. Once I've got the speed correct, I'm going to come off the brakes and take a more appropriate gear, third gear, which is going to hold me 30 miles an hour on this downhill stretch. The vehicle's parked on the near side and offside, so I'm scanning to the sides and underneath those vehicles to see if there's any feet or movements of pedestrians. I'm also looking into the junctions to the near side and offside, checking the mirrors regularly. I've got a vehicle up behind me, but it's not too close, it's not causing any problems. A pedestrian to the near side, his dog seems to be under control. But we're just taking a position towards the white centre line just to equalise the dangers and equalise the hazards. So the oncoming vehicles have started to move as our indicator that it's going to be a fairly short time before we can move off. So I'm checking the mirrors, taking first gear and waiting on the handbrake ready. Mirrors and shoulders before moving off into the junction. And I'm just going to move forward in a straight line. It looks like I can go after the silver Jag. So I'm going to turn into the junction, keeping first gear until I straighten the wheels. Then up into second. And up ahead I can see that the traffic is slowing down. Although we're coming into a 40 limit, there seems little point in accelerating too much because we're going to have to slow down again as we approach that slow moving traffic in front. The traffic lights at the moment are on green. They can only go one way, so we're ready for them to change. And there they go. So all the traffic's stopping in the near side lane. I'm checking the mirrors. I'm going to take the lane of least resistance and I'm going to come to a stop in the offside lane. Leaving it in gear, just dipping the clutch before we come to a stop, and then applying the handbrake and putting the car. I'm going to pull straight into first gear because it looks like the lights are about to change straight away. Mirrors and shoulders before we set off, and we'll just get smartly away so that we can get back into the near side without affecting any of the vehicles that are in that near side lane. So the speed limit now is 40 miles an hour. I'm extending my view into the far distance. See the road bending around to the left and we've got traffic going away from us. It is a dual carriageway road with a central reservation. Up ahead we can see an end of dual carriageway sign, and we've got the feeder arrows bringing the offside lane back into the near side, and a sign warning us of traffic lights. Always anticipate they're going to be on red. Checking the mirrors, we're going to turn right at the roundabout, at the traffic lights. We're on the brakes now, into the junction, and actually they've changed before we get to the stop sign, so we'll wait here and stop. And in leaving enough room for that guy to get out of the drive, a little bit of a courtesy signal from him. So I'm scanning into the junction. The traffic lights are changing on the opposing traffic now, so I'm checking the mirrors, taking first gear, moving forward into the junction, waiting for the motorcycle to clear, right hand up on the wheel, pull push steering into the junction. There you can see a change of speed limit, national speed limit, checking the mirrors. So national speed limit on this road is 60 miles an hour. I'm extending my view into the distance as I accelerate. The vehicle parked on the near side, and we've got junctions to the near side, but as we get close to the corner I'm going to position to the near side just to open that view up before moving away from that parked vehicle on the near side. So extending our view now, we can see the roads bending round and then round to the left past the trees, catching up with that Toyota pickup. A sign in the distance there for a mini roundabout, just checking the mirrors, checking out the crossing. So on the approach to that mini roundabout again, checking the mirrors for information. Position is going to be centre. Once the roundabout's clear, I'm off the brakes, gear's okay, and we're going to continue down the road. Very, very gentle application of acceleration. The hill is doing most of the acceleration for us. Some shops on the offside there, people moving around, checking the mirrors. Vehicles behind us, stationary. And I'm conscious of this parked vehicle just to my left. It's just behind me at the moment. I'm just keeping a close eye on her because she's got a signal on that she's going to pull out. Checking the mirrors now and taking first gear ready. First gear and handbrake. Looking at the lights, but we're also looking around us. Don't just be distracted by the lights themselves. Checking the mirrors and shoulders as we move off. Checking this child that's running on the near side. Not accelerating too hard into this area because it's a very hazard rich environment. Lots of things going on. Checking the mirrors again. person on the near side getting into a car, she's going to open the door, checking the mirrors and move away from her, and then checking the mirrors again and moving back into a reasonable position on the near side. Bearing in mind any of these vehicles on the near side could open the door, so we've got to equalise the dangers between the oncoming vehicles and the parked vehicles on the near side. Again, we're scanning underneath them. We've got an indicator on the taxi on the near side, or I should say private hire vehicle. The door's opened, it's like the driver's got in, but I'm checking the mirrors and moving away from him in case he pulls out. Again, equalising the dangers between them and the oncoming vehicles. This isn't an area you can carry any speed through at all. We're going well below 30 miles an hour, just in case any of these vehicles pull out or a door opens. A mini roundabout, checking the mirrors. The oncoming vehicle's got an indicator on, so I'm slowing it down on the brakes. Two of them have signals on, and I'm expecting the third one to possibly turn there as well without indicating, and he hasn't. He's gone straight on, so we can now continue. Looking in the distance is another mini roundabout, so we'll apply the system on the approach to that, checking the mirrors for information. Position centre of our lane. Speed looks okay at the moment. There's no signals from the oncoming vehicle. Speed and gear are okay, and we will continue. In the distance now, it looks like it's going around to the right. Got a door opening on the vehicle there. I wouldn't say it's shorts weather, would you? But there you go. Each to his own. Check the mirrors. Move away from the shorts. Got a vehicle reversing from the left-hand side there behind those parked cars, so I'm checking the mirrors and moving out. I'm just going to a little horn warning on the approach just to make sure he's seen us. Check the mirrors and back into the near side. Up into fourth gear. Again, warning sign for a school there. It's a Saturday today, so I'm not anticipating there'll be any kids or movements around the school, but it's always worth bearing in mind. They are sometimes used for events at the weekend. We're changing speed limit there to 50, so I'm checking the mirrors. I'm not accelerating until we get to the sign, and I don't want to accelerate if we're being overtaken, so I'm checking the mirrors. So we get to the sign, again a mirror check, and then squeezing the accelerator to bring the speed up. At about 50, and we'll bob it straight into fifth gear then. Looking at the road bending round to the right there in the distance, so we're positioning near side. Get that near side position as we go through the corner. Got a pedestrian, looks like a postie on the near side. As we close up into a following position on the vehicle in front. So the road's bending round to the left. Extending our view, we can see it then going around to the right. Double white lines in the centre of the road again. So we can't cross straddle or park alongside those lines unless there's an exemption in place. So cresting the road here, and then I can see that the road appears to be bending round to the right in the distance. Keep that near side position, and then there's a warning sign of the road moving to the left. So we'll check the mirrors as we approach that left hand bend, move out towards this part of the road, towards the offside a little bit, just to extend our view and maintain vehicle balance as we go around the corner. Extending our view now, we can see a roundabout in the distance. I'm going 1, 2, 3, fourth exit to the right, following the signs for Burnley and the M65. So I'm checking the mirrors. Position is going to be towards the white centre line and offside lane at the roundabout. I'm going to put a signal on now for the vehicles behind. That's the information. Position's correct now, and I'm on the speed phase. Staying on the brakes now until I know whether we can go or not. We're planning to stop, but we're looking to go. In this case, we've had to stop. So handbrake, first gear ready to go. When we've got the gap, we'll accelerate away. There's the gap. So nice and smartly up into second gear. We'll keep second gear as we go around the roundabout, keeping a right indicator on, checking the mirrors. Remember what we said about microclimates earlier, where you go on a bridge like that, it could still have kept the frost on the road. Checking the mirrors, left breakaway signal, left shoulder check, and then accelerate smartly away. Now we're joining the motorway. I'm using the acceleration lane, the slip road, to build my speed up to the point where I'm matching the speed of the vehicles in lane 1. So now we've got a view. I'm looking in my offside door mirror. The vehicle isn't moving out. Now he is. I'm checking the mirrors, put a signal on, and into lane 1. Speed limit on the motorway course is 70 miles an hour. So we're straight up into top gear, 6th gear in this car, and we'll maintain a speed of around about 70 miles an hour. Checking the mirrors. There's a few vehicles behind us, but traffic's flowing quite nicely on the motorway at the moment. We're only going one junction, Extending our view into the distance, you can see the motorway is bending round to the left. It goes to 3 lanes now. That's for the uphill stretch there. Almost creates a sort of crawler lane for slow moving vehicles. We've got some cones, potential roadworks on the near side. The hard shoulder is coned off, and it looks like there's a hard barrier there as well. So we're looking for any people or workmen associated with those cones and that hard barrier. Checking the mirrors. Got one vehicle, a Range Rover in lane 2 that's approaching us, will probably pass us shortly. The vehicles in front are going at a reasonable rate. We're trying to see if we're catching up with them. Might be appropriate. I think that Fiat's moving quite slowly, so I'm going to check the mirrors, put a right signal on and move out into lane 2 so that we're out nice and early. That allows us to overtake what I thought was a Fiat and it's actually a Ford something or other, without us getting boxed in behind the slow moving vehicle. It allows the Range Rover that's coming up in behind in lane 2 to know what we're doing, and gives them the time to work out and go into lane 3 if they want to. Checking the mirrors now. Once we're past this little courser, I'm going to check the mirrors again and then move across into lane 1. We're coming off at the next exit. There's the mile board. Checking the mirrors, moving back into lane 1 now, matching our speed to the one in front. That's the first indicator of our junction, so I'm looking ahead now for further signs and indicators of where our junction is. Crest the rise. There's the half mile board, so we're starting the planning process for leaving the motorway. Checking the mirrors. There's a faster moving BMW coming up in lane 2. I'll always be conscious that they might be making a late move to exit the motorway at the last minute. So checking the mirrors again, just coming past us now. There's the 300-yard marker. As we get to that 300-yard marker, that's when I'm going to put a signal on to let the vehicles behind know that we're going to leave the motorway. Checking the mirrors again, putting the signal on now. No need to adjust the speed at the moment. What we're going to do is glide into that exit slip road and immediately take the offside lane as we get into the slip road itself, because we're going to turn right and follow the signs for Blackburn, Darwin and Bolton A666. So I'm checking the mirrors now, so position's correct, speed's correct. Well, we're bringing the speed down now with the brakes. And I'm going to stay on the brakes. Remember, we're planning to stop, we're looking to go. I've no view to the right, so I'm going to have to leave it very late before we make a decision. So let's get the speed right down, off the brakes, into second gear now. We've got the view, and then up into third gear before we negotiate the roundabout. So a right hand bend, positioning to the near side on the way into this right hand bend to extend the view. And as it continues, it's another right hand bend, another warning for accompanied horses. Extend the view now. We've got double white lines in the centre of the road. The one nearest to us is unbroken all the way down and over that crest. Beyond that crest is a zone of invisibility. That's an area that we don't want to accelerate into. We've got to be able to stop in the distance that we can see to be clear. So as we crest that rise, we get a nice view of the road up ahead. I'm going to stop in a lay-by about half a mile from here. So I'm already thinking about the movement of traffic, vehicles behind, mirror check. And I'm looking well into the distance now, the road bending round to the left. So another left-hander up ahead in the distance there. So on the approach to that left-hander, I'm going to position towards the offside. A couple of warning signs here, bend to the right with a junction, and cues likely, an advisory maximum speed of 14. I've got brake lights from those vehicles going away, so one might be turning off, so I'm off the gas. Sure enough, there's an indicator, and I'm staying off the gas, taking fourth gear now as that vehicle turns off the main road. So up in the distance now, I'm looking for my lay-by. See it in a minute. So I'm identifying a safe place to stop, checking the mirrors. I'll put a signal on at the appropriate point. There it is. I'm applying the brakes early and lightly. I'm going to bring this vehicle to a stop close to the curb without scrubbing the tyres. Dipping the clutch for the last few yards of travel. I come to a nice smooth stop. Put the handbrake on, put the car into neutral, off the clutch first and then off the brake to let the car settle onto the handbrake, cancel the signal, and I'm going to switch off any auxiliaries that I've got switched on. I'm going to switch off the engine. I'm going to select a parking gear. I'm going to switch the ignition off fully. before taking off the seatbelt and getting out of the car. So there you go, that's a demonstration drive, and hopefully you should be able to see that as far as the driving is concerned, there's nothing extraordinarily difficult about it. It's just, it may be that you need to think a little bit differently about how you approach hazards, and you need to get into the habit of applying that system of car control, that 5-phase system, on the approach to any of the hazards that you're coming up to. So that's it for now. I'm Reg Local, thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, like I said at the start of the video, and if anybody wants a copy of that demonstration drive in full, either on a memory stick or on a disc, please drop me an email via reglocal.com and I'll get back to you, and we will look to get a copy out to you as soon as we can. That's it for today. Thanks for watching.